Hey guys, so I'm in Norway. I have been for the past 2 weeks, so I just wanted to make a video updating you guys. Not that you care, but I was going to anyway, just because that's what I wanted to do. And maybe I might sing a little bit, but maybe I won't, you know? For my gap year, I spent the whole summer working and saving up for this trip, basically. Then after this trip, I'm gonna be spending 4 months saving up for the next trip as well as college. So I'm traveling for 7 weeks in Norway, Scotland, and Ireland. I'm staying with this super sweet Norwegian family that my family actually met on a beach in Florida about 8 years ago. And somehow we've kept in touch, and we reached out to them about this trip and they were more than willing to host me, so that was really great. And they've been showing me around the city and getting me involved in all the music stuff around here, so that's really cool. The next 2 places I'm going are gonna be very different vibes. In Scotland, I'm going to Inverness, Portree, Oban, the Isle of Iona, Glasgow, Ambleside, Manchester. And in Ireland, I'm staying in Dublin, Galway, Dingle, Killarney, and Cork. It's a really cool trip. I planned most of it myself with some guidance. For Scotland and Ireland, I'm staying completely in hostels, which I've never done before. 7 weeks, retrospectively, is a lot of time to be doing that. For the first time, I thought I was gonna be like super chill, like it's like, oh, it's just a bed to sleep in. The first night in Oslo in a hostel, maybe it was just that the hostel wasn't super great, but I cried myself to sleep. Just cute girly things. I cried a lot in Oslo. I've been away from family before. It was just very different. There was no one around me that I knew. Most of the people in my room didn't even speak English. I didn't want to disturb the people who were sleeping, and I didn't want to seem like an annoying American. That's been a common theme throughout this trip so far. But yeah, it was really scary and kind of very overwhelming. Oslo wasn't great, but it was great because I got to see the incredible things that are in Oslo. It was just definitely very overwhelming, a very shocking start to my trip. Then once I got to Bergen, it was a lot nicer. It's because I have people that I can talk to every day because of this family that I'm staying with, and they've been teaching me all about Norwegian culture and stuff like that, so it's been really nice. But it's still really lonely because they're not my family and friends. Yeah, I mean, there have been moments where I'm like, yes, this trip is exactly what I need. And there's been other points where I'm just like, I just want to go home, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm okay, and I'm gonna keep pushing through, and yeah, I can do this. I've been writing a lot of music. So far I have kind of this beginnings of a song about Oslo, lost in a city that doesn't know my name, and it's just kind of about like the intense loneliness of being surrounded by people but being entirely alone. Because that was another thing, I was never alone in any situation. There would be some people in my hostel room. I would be walking and I would be constantly surrounded by people. One of the pieces of advice that I got before coming on this trip was if there's ever something that I just am feeling or that I want to say, I should just say it and put it out into the universe. I love that idea, but when you're walking around a city, you can't really do that. But on the bright side, everyone thinks I'm Norwegian. Today was the 3rd time that someone's asked me for directions, but the first time that I could actually tell them. I know that I kind of look Scandinavian, but I also kind of look Scottish and I kind of also look Irish, so all of these places, it's not like I'm sticking out. I don't want to speak English. I try to avoid it until it's unavoidable. Yeah, I can completely avoid speaking English if I'm just like buying an item usually. Yeah, I just have so badly wanted to avoid people thinking that I'm an obnoxious American who doesn't know their language and doesn't even try. My thoughts so far, everything's so beautiful. I was introduced to the Hardanger fiddle, which is a traditional Norwegian instrument. It basically has these extra 4 strings underneath the regular strings on the violin that are just mainly for resonance, and it's such a beautiful instrument. I got to see it in a more classical setting, and I also got to see it in a more casual folk setting. I've also been able to kind of listen to Norwegian folk music and compare it to what I know about Appalachian music, because that's kind of the point of this, is to compare and contrast the music that I know from Appalachia and bring in new information from Norwegian folk music and Scottish and Celtic music. There's a Bergen folk music club and I got to go to one of their concerts, and it was this duo from Shetland. One is Scottish and one is Irish. So they were speaking in English, which was really nice. They were playing some Norwegian folk, some Irish, and some Scottish, and so I could really just put them up next to each other. They were just really good. I'm really excited to be going to Scotland and Ireland next because almost every single town there's a pub that has live traditional music every night. I'm super excited to be just in that atmosphere, experiencing just live music, not super rehearsed or anything like that, just passion, and I absolutely love that. I definitely have been itching for my violin. I didn't think that would happen. I only brought my ukulele with me. Yeah, so I thought I would just do this kind of as a check-in. Now I think I'm gonna sing a song. I was stopped in London when I felt it coming down, crashing all around me with a great triumphant sound. Like the dam was breaking and my mind came rushing in. I was stopped in London, oh, I was awakening, oh, 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 oh. I was all in Paris when I almost ran away. 2 times round the block before I decided to stay. Puffed along a cigarette that went and made me sick. Spent another day pretending I was over it. This time I know I'm fighting. This time I know I'm back in my body. Time I know I'm fighting. This time I know I'm back in my body. Oh, I'm back in my body. Oh, and all along the highway there's a tiny whispering sound, saying I can find you in the dark of any town. But all that I am hearing in the poem of my mind are tiny whispering words finding their way in every line. This time, oh, this time I know I'm fighting. This time I know I'm back in my body. Time I know I'm fighting. This time I know I'm back in my body. Oh, I'm back in my body. Oh, lost you in the morning, don't live anywhere. I found myself when I was going everywhere. This time I know I'm fighting. This time I know I'm back in my body. Oh, I'm back in my body. Oh, oh, this time. Oh, this time. I was listening to the song and then I was like, this is exactly how I feel. First verse of the song is how I feel, and then the chorus is how I would like to feel. So yeah, that was my update. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. I don't post videos as regularly anymore, but once I get back, I will be posting videos again every single Monday, and I'll be trying to post as much as I can on this trip. Okay, bye!